When mounting the fans to the radiator of an AIO liquid cooler, they should fit tight against each other to maximize airflow. If a case has fan mounts inside the front panel, the flat metal frame will be between the fans and the radiator, unless you have the Cougar MS330-G ATX case. The frame inside the front panel has raised vent holes and recessed screw holes. I use 20-year-old motherboard standoffs to mount the radiator to the back and the fans to the front of the frame. That quarter-inch gap between the fans and the radiator allows air to escape and blow back out the mesh front panel. It's time to weather strip that gap. A weather strip is a barrier between two surfaces that prevents air from escaping. Most common applications include doors and windows for cars, refrigerators, and homes, but not for computers. Since I have a quarter-inch gap between the fans and the radiator, weather strip makes perfect sense. I'll be using the Frost-Keen rubber self-stick weather seal tape that is 5/16 inch wide, quarter-inch tall, and 17 feet long. This type is called a D-section with two parallel deep-shaped tubes. The roll costs $6.50 on Amazon. Before installing the weather strip, I unscrewed the Phanteks Hollow LUT RGB fan frames and the Be Quiet Shadowing 2 fans. I cut the weather strip into 4 pieces that fit between a pair of standoffs and pulled apart each piece in half. I peeled off the backing and applied each piece, pressing down with my finger. The weather strip forms a square underneath each of the fans. When reattaching the fans and the frames, I start the first screw in one corner, the second screw in the opposite corner, and the remaining screws in the other corners. I then tightened down all the screws. I tested the system performance before and after applying the weather strip with Cinebench R23 for benchmarking and Ryzen Master for monitoring. I ran 4 multi-core passes in Cinebench for each round of testing. The first pass was to warm up the liquid inside the closed loop, and I discarded the initial score. The average of the next 3 passes represents the final score. My editing system has a Ryzen 7 2700 that boosted to 3.4 GHz, and the memory is overclocked to 3333 MHz on the MSI Tomahawk X570 motherboard. The fans were set to the performance profile in the BIOS. The processor temperature matched out at 51 Celsius for each round of testing. Before I applied the weather strip to the fans, the Cinebench scores were 8,104, 8,076, and 8,035. The average score was 8,071. After I applied the weather strip to the fans, the Cinebench scores were 8,181, 8,158, and 8,148. The average score was 8,162. That is a 1% increase in performance. I know what you're thinking. A 1% increase in performance. Whoopie-doo. When optimizing various components in a system, every small performance increase here and there can add up in a hurry. The weather strip also eliminated the air blowing back out of the mesh front panel. If you haven't seen my other videos for the Be Quiet Pure Loop liquid cooler, a link to the playlist is in the description below. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching.